Hello and welcome back again. My name is Steven and welcome to Chat Room. So this is just a small little series where I do some stuff where I just talk about things that kind of matter to me a little bit about gaming. So let's talk about reworks in League of Legends today. So as you guys should know, Riot over the past, I don't know, many years, like 3 years. Well, they've been doing it from the start basically, but they didn't start kicking it into gear until about season 4, where they started going, let's actually start looking back at our older champions. What champions are a complete mess, and let's bring them into line completely into what the current game standard is. This all started off with Sion. Well, it did start previously, as I did say, but Sion was like the big one. This was the first massive update that Riot really did. And you can just see, just from the difference from his first version to the just amazingness what they did into his, his reworked version, you could just clearly knew that Riot were going to improve a lot of champions and bring them forth and make them amazing. And we did see this. We saw reworks coming out. They were kind of slow at start, but especially now we've got reworks coming out quite quickly, as we recently had 2 reworks this year already, which is kind of, cool. Well, there's been more than that, but, there's been like 2 major reworks this year. So you can just see, just from these changes, and the second one I'm going to be showing off is Gangplank. So this one wasn't a big one. This one's a last year thing. And it was meant to be just like bring an old champion into the front line, make him cool again. So GP did have a rework prior to his current one, as there was a really old version, because Gangplank was a really old champion. He's about League startish and type area. So he did get one rework, which is the rework that everybody knows, and then he got reworked into the current GP. And the current GP is so much cooler than the old GP. By a shit ton. Yeah, he lost a little bit of his older personality, which was kind of cool. But this new one is so much better, as Riot has gotten better at gameplay, and they've also gotten better at writing the story and the characters and things like that. So these reworks are super important to the game. Again, let's move on. Poppy. This is old Poppy. Old Poppy was this really ugly little Smurf thing that was classified as a yordle. She was kind of crap. Her gameplay, I actually didn't mind her gameplay. I actually kind of enjoyed it. Poppy was one of my main top laners, but yes, it was unhealthy for the game. The ultimate was kind of bollocks. You just ult you ult your enemy's support, and then you just go and face plant the fucking AD carry into the wall. Not really that fair, really, on terms of playing her, but for the current Poppy, that's not the case anymore. Current Poppy is so much fun, just like the old Poppy, and I would even go to say that the new Poppy is actually more fun than the old Poppy. And I know loads of people go, oh, the old things are better than the new things, it's just your nostalgia kicking in, you arsehole. Seriously. A lot of the old things are not as good as the new things. The new GP is not as good. I mean, the old GP is not as good as the new GP. The new Poppy's better. The new Turret's better. The new everything's better. They've not gone backwards in any of the reworks other than Graves. Graves is the only thing they've gone backwards in. The fucking arseholes. Like, Jesus. That's the only rework I would say that was a complete failure. Also, Kog'Maw and Mordekaiser. So only 3 reworks that I would say that were a complete flop. Other than that, all the other reworks have been, yeah, they may have been a bit on some parts. Like Brands, I think that brought them a little bit too far up, but a lot of these other changes were just pretty good. They were good to amazing changes that really helped the champions out. We've saw that with like the Malzahar. Malzahar used to be one really bad champion. Now he's actually viable and he's actually a pretty decent one. So how can we see Riot go into the future on these reworks? Well, there's 3 reworks that we know Riot are currently planning. So the first one is Warwick. We don't know when Warwick's going to be coming out, and we're guessing he's going to be coming out either this year, because there's still a chance that he could come out this year, or early next year he'll be coming out, which should be interesting. So they're trying to make him more of this like hunter type guy who's going to smell you from a distance and then just fuck you. That's the idea of Warwick. So I can't wait until they come out with this, because it seems definitely going to be interesting. So we only got a little bit of a wait because he's quite shortly coming. So yay. The next one is actually Galio. Now we do not have a specific date when the Galio one's going to be coming out, just like the Warwick, but we know the Galio one should be coming out to early next year to mid next year, is the time gap of Galio, which should be intriguing. So they're trying to make him more of this like anti-mage type thing. So at the moment, as you know, he's an anti-mage. He builds pure magic. He doesn't build pure magic resist, but his entire purpose is to go a lot of magic resist, get a shit ton of damage from that magic resist, just like how Malphite gets a lot of damage from armor, and be like the anti-mage, really. That's the idea of him. And it's pretty interesting what he does, and there's video going to be expanding on that fantasy of the gargoyle type character, which should be interesting and quite cool. Now, the only one that I'm going to be talking about is Urgot, that they haven't actually said anything about. So Urgot is one that they're not currently working on, as the team that's going to be working on Urgot is currently working on the Warwick. So as soon as they're finished with Warwick, they'll be moving on to Urgot. So just by saying that, we should expect Urgot to be coming out mid next year to late next year. So that's quite a way away, I know, but out of all of the reworks, it seems like Urgot is going to be one of the biggest. Because Riot have, all the other reworks, Riot have given us something, and they've expanded on their characters, and they made something cool with. But the thing with Urgot is that they've been running into a lot of problems. Whereas all the other champions like Sion, they wanted to make him an undead juggernaut. With Taric, they wanted to make him all about the gems and being partnered and all that type of thing. For Poppy, they just wanted to keep her old character and just expand on it and make it better. But for Urgot, they don't have that. All the other champions have something that they want to expand on, and that's it. They want to ideally keep the identity what they have, but then expand on them. But with Urgot has 2 identities. First of all, everybody loves him for the idea of the poke. You E them and then you just spam your Q. That's a big thing for Urgot. But then also another big thing for Urgot is his ultimate, which switches places with someone. The problem with that is that these 2 identities that Urgot currently has clashes, which makes it a really big problem for Riot, because which one do they take? Do they make Urgot a big beefy tank and keep his ultimate? Or do they strip the ultimate away and make him as a marksman, and actually marksman this time? That's the problem with Urgot, and I can definitely see why Riot are having a lot of problems trying to think of something to do for Urgot. And I personally hope they go down the marksman route and probably give his ultimate to somebody else in the future. That's what I would personally do, but I don't know what Riot... I don't think as what Riot does, but that might be the best option for Riot. Or they give Urgot the ultimate, scrap his rest of his kit, and just build something that works for his ultimate. And that'll be interesting. So whatever route they go, I will definitely interested to see what they do for Urgot, and we definitely gotta wait quite a while for that though, but that should be cool. So also another few reworks that we know that are planned, so I'm just going to quickly go over them. The first one they've kind of been talking about is Mordekaiser. They did say that they failed with Mordekaiser and they are planning on bringing him up the stuff again, which is kind of true. The current Mordekaiser is kind of really, really bad. Other than that, they've also said that they kind of want to start bringing the likes of what was it? It was I know they said that they wanted to bring Mordekai's a bit forward. There was also a few others, and it was in the assassin. There's two assassins. Oh, that's it. Akali and Evelyn. Carly and Evelyn, they've already talked about. They're going to be in the assassin update. They're going to have a few changes there, but they've said that they are only band-aids. That they are planning in the future to give these two a bigger visual update. You know, big full change. Probably the likes, I'm guessing the likes of Gangplank level of update, where they update their art, they update a big portion of their kit just to bring it up into line, make sure it's all balanced again and things like that, and give them a new mechanic to play around. So that's what they've said about them too. And there are two other reworks that they've also said that they are going to be doing eventually, but we just do have no information on, and that is for Callista and Azir. So these two champions, you may be thinking, why are they planning on doing reworks? They're not that old, really. They're kind of new. Well, the problem with these two is, as you should know, they are so dominant in pro play that they can't buff these guys, because if they do, they're going to be too dominant in pro play, which means they have to nerf them. And they've nerfed them so much that they're useless. They can't give them any buffs because they'll be too dominant in pro play, and they're too weak now that they're shit in every single play, which is a problem, which means Riot needs to rework these two. Now, they have talked a little bit about Azir, more so than Callista, as they have said with Azir that if they want to go further with Azir, that they may have to sacrifice something on him, which they may end up sacrificing the whole idea of him being a long-ranged mage to allow him to siege a lot better, or they were after a sacrifice a Shurima Shuffle, which is a big thing for Azir. You know, these two things make Azir. So it's in the same line of Urgot, where they have these two things that are really important for the character, but they can't keep both of them. If they have both of them, they end up clashing. And for Azir, they don't clash, it's just more of a balance issue, which is a problem. And the same thing could be said about Callista. Callista has these two problems that are a really big problem for balancing. You've got a kiting with a passive, and then you have the stacking with a rend. These two things make up Callista, but together they are overpowered. So, Riot has kind of dropped the ball with those two, and we are just waiting to see what they do, but it's kind of a problem. But we know eventually Riot will get around doing them, bring them up to light, and actually make them cool once again. So, I know there are a few other champions that are going to be getting reworks, as they've talked about things like Aurelia, Swain, and a few others, but for what we know about them is so fucking minimal that we can't really talk about them. But other than that, guys, hope you've all enjoyed. If you want more information on reworks, I'll actually recommend to go check out the Gaming Curios on YouTube. He actually does a lot of stuff about rework champions and a lot of other things as well. So if you are interested, I'll probably leave a link down below. Go check out his videos. They're all fucking awesome. If you want any information about, you know, like the ideas that go into Riot's thinking and stuff like that, then go check him out. It's all cool. But other than that, guys, hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all next time. Till then, everyone, peace out.